Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This is going to be the first part of probably 3 parts of a pretty long video. This is my Hinderer Firetac. If you guys have been following along, you know I love this knife a lot, but it's finally gotten dull. And if you know how I talk at the end of my video, lazy man carries a dull knife. So I've got to sharpen this up. Long story short, while I'm going to sharpen it up, I figured I might as well tear it down. This knife has not been torn down the entire time I've had it. I would show you the action, but I played with the pivot a little bit before I turned the camera on. Realized I was going to need 2 different tools, two different hex bits to loosen this pivot, and I tightened the pivot up in the process. So it's a little bit tighter than it was, but the knife is very smooth. I've never lubed this knife. It's full of pocket lint and dirt, and the knife is on nylon. So without any other talking, let's go ahead and tear the knife down. So I'm going to use 1 hex, and the size I'm using is 5/64 is the size for both the pivot. There we go, for both the pivot and the handle screws. So there was a little bit of tension there. That's why you heard me pause. I was concerned that maybe something was going wrong. I don't see any Loctite, but it definitely felt like there was a little bit of tension, almost like that sticky tension you get sometimes when there's some, excuse me, some thread locker in there. Guys, I live in the South, and it's obviously springtime, or getting there if it's not, and the pollen is killing me. So if you hear me sniffle, or if you hear me cough, it's just pollen. All right, there we go. There's 1 handle screw. Let's see. Here's the other handle screw. So I'll drop those over there. And there goes the handle scale itself. You can see the Rick Hinderer logo. We'll pull, if we can get it off, we'll pull this off, pull the liner off. And this, I don't have a magnet around me, but this almost feels like it's titanium, guys. So the other interesting part is where the washer goes on both sides of the scale appears to be unfinished. So that's interesting. I guess they're using 1 piece for, which I don't think they have a left-handed model, but maybe they're using this 1 piece on either side. If you were looking at the knife this way, I guess you could put it on the bottom and build it up that way, make a left-handed knife, or you could put it on top like this and make it a right-handed knife. So that's that. Here is the knife blade itself. You can see there are 2 nylon washers, one larger than the other. You can see there looks to be a little bit of gunk built up in there. I'm going to sit that to the side. I'm going to sit it, the side that was facing the blade itself, I'm going to sit facing up. Here you can also see there's just a tiny bit of gunk. Feels like there might be, no, I mean, maybe if there was some oil, it's dried up. I'm going to spray this with some EDCI solution. I don't really care where I get this stuff. I'm going to wipe off the tang of the blade real quick. Let's see. All right, that looks pretty clean. Feels clean. You can see there was a little bit of trash on the tang of the blade. Let's do the same thing for the washers. So I'm gonna spray this here, and we'll kind of clean them off. And I think I'm gonna put this back together dry, guys, which is not something I do a lot, but I think I'm gonna try it out because this knife has gotten so smooth over time. I don't really think it needs any lubrication. So again, I'm going to face it the side of the washer up that was facing the blade tang itself. We'll clean off this washer here. This now appears to be clean. We'll put it the same way up. Here's the other side of the knife. You can see there is a lock bar insert. The other side of the pivot itself is rounded. It is not D-shaped, so it's not captured. You can see that there is some buildup on the lock bar insert itself. There's the rest of it. These are captured on the screws that I did not take out and I'm not going to take out. No reason to pull those off. If you want to see the lock face, there you go. I believe you can see it there. Let's do this. I'm going to spray some of this on here. And let's see if we can't wipe the face of the the lock. And you can see there was a little bit of built up dirt and grime. So there is that lock face again. Oops, I dropped the pivot out. So let me put that back in here. I think that's it, guys. It's all torn down. Oh, no, it's not. Let me wipe the this area here where we saw the build up before. So let's get it clean totally. All right, you can kind of see a little wear there. Just an interesting note. So it's all cleaned up now. Aegis EDCI solution. I'm gonna go back. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna oil the knife. I think I'm gonna put it back together dry. We'll see, but I'm gonna sharpen the knife now, and then I'll follow up. I'll probably chop that portion out, and then I will piece in the reassembly video to this video here. So give me 1 second. Okay, let's go ahead and get everything put back together. As you can hopefully see here, I have sharpened the knife. Decent mirror finish edge, nothing crazy. I really was more interested in getting it sharp than getting a perfect mirror edge. So we'll start here. Like I said, I'm not gonna put any lube on this or anything. I'm just gonna run it dry and see how that goes. I can always go back and add some more. So I'm gonna cant the blade a little bit like this. I find that I have found that in the past, that has been an easier way to put knives together, kind of holds everything solid. Again, I had those washers with the side facing up that touches the blade. The smaller washer goes on the locking side, so it allows clearance for the lock bar. The larger washer goes on the non-locking side. Let's go ahead and we'll put like I said, I'm pretty certain this is a titanium scale. Let's go ahead and put that titanium scale back on here. Let's go ahead and lay this the G10 scale over here. The larger screw goes to the pivot. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get these handle screws started. I'm actually going to try to cheat here a little bit. There we go. And that got that one started. Again, I'm using the 5/64 hex bit. I'm gonna go ahead and not snug this all the way up, but tighten it down some. And then we'll go ahead and we'll work on the pivot. Gonna need both bits for the pivot again. It's free spinning. Would kind of be nice to see if that was a captured pivot, D-shaped pivot. That would help out a good bit with getting everything back together. One thing that was pointed out in the video I watched that I had not noticed before is that this side of the pivot is polished and this side of the pivot has a finish that's closer to the finish of the titanium. So let's see here. I want to get this snug, but I don't want it to be super tight. So let's try that. Let's tighten these down. Just hand tight, nothing crazy. So we've got it back together. Okay, it seems to be all right. That's not gonna work because I can already hear the blade rubbing. So let's go ahead and loosen this up. Let's see if tightening the pivot doesn't fix our issue. So that is spinning again. I thought I could get away with maybe not using both, but it's not gonna work. So let's see. Let's tighten it up some more. That's still very loose. Yeah, that's still very loose. Let's go ahead and tighten this pivot some more. All right, that is pretty much all the way down. So, whoa. And that is pretty tight, not super tight. Definitely fixed the centering issue. Got our centering on point, but now I need to just dial this in a little bit. I'm just gonna loosen it up just a hair. Whoa, that might be too loose. It doesn't seem like it's causing us any issues though. But whoa, that is pretty loose, looser than I would like. So let's give this one more go, and then I'm gonna call it good. So just turned it just a hair. That's still free falling, pretty scary. Surprised it didn't cut my finger actually, but guess I got lucky. That's probably too tight. Let's try this. All right, that seems like a good medium. No blade play, no lube. That is centered. No blade rub. Flies out, drops closed. That is pretty good, guys. I'm gonna call it quits there. I appreciate you guys watching. Remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.